Impermanent loss in crypto explained. What is impermanent loss? The concept of impermanent loss is one of many cryptocurrency concepts that is challenging to understand. However, there are illustrations to help with comprehension, and they clarify what results in temporary loss when lending money to a liquidity pool. Hello and welcome back to Metaverse. In this video, we are going to explain what impermanent loss in crypto is. Let's get started. What exactly is permanent loss? Impermanent loss is the unrealized loss that happens when your portion of a liquidity provider position shifts from its initial position to a different one. Consider contributing $10,000 in cash and 100 Ethereum to a liquidity pool. The majority of liquidity pools like a 50/50 ratio whenever you start your deposit. 1 Ethereum is now thought to cost $100, which is a reasonable assumption. You are contributing to this liquidity pool $10,000 worth of Ethereum and $10,000 worth of stable coins. In an effort to profit from some of the fees that will occur throughout the liquidity pool time, you put that sum of $20,000 into the pool. For instance, let's assume that Ethereum increases in price to $110. A trader may understand that he can purchase Ethereum from your liquidity pool for $100 and sell it to Coinbase for $110 at a later time. As a result, he keeps making more purchases, and the algorithm will continue billing him more until he runs out of money. These decentralized exchanges operate in the same manner. It never runs out of the asset to sell you, even if it gets you down to very little, because you keep paying more and more for each item that you wish to purchase. The cost will begin to rise rapidly. However, in other instances, the asset was significantly less expensive than another exchange, which gave a trader what is known as an arbitrage opportunity. However, if we perform the necessary calculations, we discover that he was able to give $488 and purchase 4,652 Ethereum, at least up until the liquidity pool price reached 110. He promptly sold his cheaper Ethereum, which he purchased from us, to Coinbase for $511.82 because he would have lost money if he had purchased any more Ethereum. It indicates that by just buying and selling between two distinct liquidity pools, he made a profit of 23.82. Let's now adapt the position of the liquidity supplier. As a result, there are now $10,488 and 95.347 Ether in the stable currency pool, respectively. Because that is the current price of Ethereum, we may multiply 95.347 by 110 to get 10,488. $20,976 is the total value obtained by adding 10,488 Ethereum and 10,488 of our stable coin. The liquidity provider now has a total worth of $20,009.76, which means that he profited handsomely by $976 as Ethereum increased in value. He earned a respectable sum of money. However, to determine the impermanent loss, we must determine how much money he would have had if he had chosen to hold his stable coin and Ethereum in his wallet as opposed to investing in the liquidity pool. He would still have got his initial $10,000, of course, but what if he had kept his 100 Ethereum? In any case, if he had simply held it, he would have had a total of $21,000, given that 100 Ethereum is now worth $11,000. This allows us to compute his temporary loss as 21,000 less 2,976 or 24. In other words, this liquidity provider would have gained more profit if he had simply held onto his stable currency and Ethereum. Now, 24 may not seem like much, but consider a comparable scenario where the price increases by 20% rather than 10%, or where the price decreases by 50% in a momentary temporary loss. When the distinction between two assets in a pool is altered, this results. The impermanent loss grows as this transition does. The Ethereum price returning to $100 effectively cancels out the temporary loss. Since both assets will be identical to what they were when the liquidity provider first invested them, there won't be a single irreversible loss. Because it only becomes permanent when you cash out your liquidity. It is referred to as an impermanent loss. There is still time for the loss to become normal before you do that. To put it simply, an impermanent loss is a loss that occurs when you invest in a liquidity pool and end up with less money than you would have had if you had simply retained the assets. One more illustration to help you comprehend. This time, We're going to start with $10,000 and 100 Ether in a liquidity pool. However, another trader enters the market as Ethereum's price on Binance falls from $100 to $60. Starting at a price of 100, he purchases Ethereum from Binance and sells it to our liquidity pool before the pool buys it again at a price of 60. The algorithm of an automated market maker for constant products is now operational, and you can use it. The calculation reveals that the trader gave the pool 30 Ether in this case. This is crucial then. The trader spent 1,800 buying 30 Ethereum at a price of 60 per coin on Binance. $1 million divided by 130 Ethereum yields 14,285 and suggests that 7,692 people should be in the pool. It does have 10,000 though. This indicates that the trader paid the pool 30 Ether and received the difference in return. In other words, the trader paid $1,800 for his Ethereum and received a profit of $507 when he sold it for $2,307, merely buying and selling in a short period of time. That's really good. Let's now examine our liquidity provider. At the current market price of $600, they have 130 Ether. It follows that their share of the pool, along with the value of Ether, is worth $7,800, while the pool itself is worth $7,690. This indicates that the assets in the liquidity pool are worth $15,490. This represents a significant decrease from the $20,000 that was first invested. Let's now determine their long-term loss. They would have had $10,000 in cash and 100 Ethereum, which are now worth $6,000 if they hadn't invested their initial assets. Using some basic math, we were able to determine that they would have had $16,000 if they hadn't invested in a liquidity pool. $708 lost in the 16th century are a transient loss. We hope that you now have a better understanding of how temporary loss operates. In essence, you need to understand that it's advantageous for any liquidity provider when the prices of two assets you're investing in remain close to one another. The liquidity provider begins to incur a temporary loss when one increases while the other one remains constant. This loss can only be recovered if the first asset begins to decline in value in order to balance the liquidity. When both asset prices begin to fluctuate, things become exceedingly difficult. In other words, the liquidity provider immediately starts to lose money if they go in the opposite direction. The liquidity provider, however, might not lose money due to temporary loss at all if they raise or decrease at the same rate instead of only reaping the benefits of the trading fee earnings. A liquidity provider may notice a shift in how much an asset changes in price as its price increases above 100% of the value of the other asset. As an asset's price declines by less than 100%, the temporary loss grows. The temporary loss also increases. If the price drops below where it was when we invested, we start to lose money permanently. From our discussion, what ideas did you get about the impermanent loss in crypto? Please let me know by leaving a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe to our channel Metaverse for more videos like this. Thank you for stopping by to watch. See you in our next video. Bye!